everyone, this is Joanne coming to you live from Texas. I'm also known as #UnicornBoss. So as you guys are jumping online tonight, go ahead and hit me up with some unicorn emojis since those are my jam. If you're grabbing me live, go ahead and leave me a number 1. And if you're catching me on the replay, go ahead and leave me a number 2. So super excited tonight, you guys. It's Wednesday, so welcome to Win It Wednesday on my page. I just like to put some more keto information out there for you guys on Wednesdays. So for those of you that are brand new and you're not aware, typically on Wednesdays I put a post up on my page. I'll tell you guys to feel free to ask for help, ask your keto questions, and then I try and grab as many as I can to go over live together in the video on Wednesday nights. So welcome to Win It Wednesday on my page. I'm super excited to go over some of these questions that I have for you guys tonight. So I see a bunch of you guys jumping online. Welcome. Go ahead and say hi. Let me know where you're coming in from. If you're grabbing me live, go ahead and leave me a number 1. And if you're catching me on the replay, go ahead and leave me a number 2. By the way, if you're a brand new friend, don't forget to comment new below so that way I can circle back around and say hi to you. I've made a ton of brand new friends recently, so if you're brand new to me, welcome. My name is Joanne. I've been keto over 1 year. I'm down over 60 pounds. I recently just celebrated a new NSV. I just got into size 6 jeans, and I'm just super passionate about the keto lifestyle. So if you are keto, go ahead and comment keto in the comments. Let me know how long you've been keto and feel free to give yourself a shout out. I love to see that in the comments here. So let me go ahead and say hi to a few people real quick and then we'll get started. So welcome to Win It Wednesday on my page. If you are not aware of what we do is I always put a post up. You can ask me your keto questions and then we go over them together in the video at nighttime. So hi everyone, welcome. Let's see who we've got here. Hi Sharon, Valerie, hi Kelly, thank you so much for sharing, sweet sister, Maria, Tammy, Lindsay, Renee, Janet, welcome, so happy to have you guys. So thanks for sharing, you guys. So if you have a lot of fun and you learn lots of things and you love my page, please give the video a quick share. I so appreciate your love and support. And if you haven't followed me yet, go ahead and click on the bottom here, it will pop up. You can do follow and see first, and if you click on the 3 dots, you can turn on your live notifications. So hi Dawn, welcome, thanks for the love. Yeah, I'm nerdy like that, so it's okay. Hi Alex and hi Lori, welcome. Thanks for sharing, Maria, I so appreciate you. So okay, great. So I've got some great keto questions that I'm going to be sharing with you guys tonight. So these were live from my followers and my viewers to my page here. So first question I had, and if you guys, if we have time at the end, if you want to make a mental note of what your keto question is, if we have time at the end, I'll take some ad lib at the end here. We'll live dangerously. So hi Lavonda, welcome. So my first question was from Sharon. She said, can you still be in ketosis if you need to limit fat intake? So I can't give you 100% answer on that because every physical body is actually different. So myself, I do very well with high fat. So where are all of my high fat keto people out there? If you are, go ahead and comment high fat in the comments. You kind of have to learn what keto works best for you. So that being said, I'll say like 95% of people I think do well with high fat keto, but there is this small minority where they do better with high protein, moderate fat, low carb. So you may be lucky enough that you might be one of those people that falls into the category where you can do high protein, moderate fat, and you can limit that fat intake and still do well and still stay in ketosis. So hi Todd, welcome, so happy to have you. I hope you are living your best life. It's been a while since we've chatted. So yeah, for me too, high fat really works best. For my keto macros, I need to be up over 100 grams every single day. And once I hit that, for me, that was like the secret sauce. The weight just started coming off with very little effort, and I started to notice that I was less hungry and I felt really amazing. So you kind of just need to play around with your keto and find out what's going to work best for you. So yeah, I know you're having an issue right now, so you need to do low fat. So, just test it out and see how your body does. If you find that you're doing low fat for a while and it's not working, it's probably because, your body isn't reaching ketosis. So the other way to do it is you can invest in a blood meter. They're not that expensive, and you could just start testing your ketones to see if you're reaching ketosis, and that would be a nice way for you to kind of gauge and see whether lower fat is doing well for you. So sending you all my love. Once you get that gallbladder all settled, you should be able to go back to keto with some tips and tricks that I can give you. So my next question was, Andrea asked me, can you do keto if you can't eat dairy? So the answer is yes and yes. So do I have any dairy-free keto people watching with me right now? Or if you're catching me on the replay, go ahead and just comment dairy-free. There's a lot of actually dairy-free people out there. I was shocked. I don't know how you do it. I send you all of my love because boy, I love my dairy. And I know if I had to, I could definitely do it. But dairy-free, I think, is a challenge. But that being said, you can totally be keto and be dairy-free. And we're so blessed because there's so many different amazing products out there that you can use to substitute for dairy. So I actually did a really great video. I can't talk to ad lib about dairy-free because it's just not something that's a part of my lifestyle. But I did do a lot of research and I did a really great dairy-free video. So once this video is over, I'm going to link the previous video about dairy-free in the main post there. So that way, if you want to have some great resources about some dairy-free substitutions, I answered a lot of dairy questions that day. We had a lot of dairy-free people participating. So I think that would be a really great resource for you. So then rather than trying to dig it all out and remember it, I would rather just give you that resource because I am not dairy-free and it's not something I regularly practice, but you most certainly can be dairy-free. And like I was saying on one of my last videos, you guys, is if you're stuck or stalled on your keto journey and you're not losing anymore, one of the first recommendations I have for you is to reduce dairy just a little bit. I think when we go keto, we go a little overboard with all of the dairy, and I think it sometimes can be excessive. All of the cheeses, all of the creams, you can still have them, but remember what I said the other day was most of your carbohydrates should be coming from fresh, leafy, green vegetables, and your dairy should be like your salt and pepper. You just sprinkle it in. And I find that especially as Americans, we're just not used to eating a lot of veggies, so we kind of reverse it. We eat high dairy with just a little sprinkle of veggies in there. So we want to just make sure most of our carbs are coming from fresh veggies and not from dairy. So awesome. Let's see what else I have here. Okay, so Michelle James asked me a great question. She said, does portion size matter? So yes, definitely portions matter. So just because you're keto doesn't mean you can eat all of the things. I mean, sometimes I feel like, you guys will have to share with me, do you guys ever feel like you're cheating when you're eating keto? I know I do. Like, keto is so decadent. It's cheesy, it's creamy, it's fatty, it's got a lot of beautiful flavors. So sometimes I feel like I need to pinch myself because I'm eating all of these decadent things and it doesn't really feel like I'm dieting. So sometimes we can go overboard with portions, I think, because it's so delicious. And I do a lot of cooking with keto casseroles. So what kind of is your favorite types of cooking to do? Feel free to share with me in the comments. But some of those casseroles are so creamy, cheesy, and delicious. I can go overboard if I'm not careful. So always encourage you to listen to your body and stop eating when you feel like you're close to full. I get full very quickly now that I've been high fat keto for so long, so I really don't need to eat that much, but because it tastes so good, sometimes I will overindulge, and that's what you want to try and prevent. So I always recommend, if you're a brand new keto, for your first 2 weeks to a month to track your keto macros. This is really going to help you with portion. This is really going to help you with understanding what food looks like and really set you up for success on your keto journey. So do I have anyone out there that enjoys tracking their macros? If I do, just comment tracking in the comments here. I've kind of fallen out of my tracking practice, but typically I love to track. I'm a big geek like that. I love macros. I just learned so much by tracking macros, and I get a lot of satisfaction making sure my numbers are where they're supposed to be. But tracking isn't for everyone, but if you can do it at least for 2 weeks to get a good solid foundation on your keto journey, I highly recommend it. You know, sometimes people say to me, how did you get so good at keto? And I think it's because I sat down and I did the hard work in the beginning of my keto journey, and I tracked everything I ate for a full month, and I hated the experience at first, and then eventually I started to learn to love it, and I actually enjoy macros now. But in the beginning, I did not like tracking, and I did the hard work in the beginning, and I talk about this a lot, but I had a lot of 40 to 60 gram carb days. Can you imagine 40 to 60 grams? I was way overeating my carbs, not even realizing it. So Michelle is asking, what's a macro? Macro stands for macronutrients. So you have 3 different types of macronutrients. You've got your fat, your protein, and your carbs. So keto is high fat, moderate protein, low carb. So there's a great app that you can do, that you can download. It's free. It does all of the work for you. My favorite tracking app is Senza. So it's Senza. I've tried them all. I've tried MyFitnessPal, I've done Carb Manager. I think those were the 2 big ones I worked with, but I love Senza the best. Few different reasons. It gives you the best, most accurate macros out there. I really feel that MyFitnessPal is meant for calorie counting. I used MyFitnessPal for 2 years while I counted calories. I also found the database in MyFitnessPal not to be accurate, so when you're tracking food, that's kind of important. You have to make sure you have an accurate database. And then Carb Manager really isn't keto. It's more low carb. So what I don't like about Carb Manager is, one, it's really hard to create recipes in there to stay on track for your keto success. And the other thing is that Carb Manager is, it limits your entries. So you can get maybe like 6 to 10 free entries, and anything over that you have to pay for. And I did make the mistake of paying $50 for Carb Manager for 1 year, and I hated it. So trust me, Senza really is the best one. It's spelled Senza. Thanks for putting it in there, Joanne. You got that perfectly. So I really recommend it. And one of the other features I really love about Senza is that it's easy to create recipes. You can just scan while you're cooking, throw everything into one little recipe. And the other thing that's cool about it is it's got something called Keto Radar. So how many of you guys, when you go out to eat with friends or family, you're kind of like at a loss and you're like, I want to eat something fun, but I don't want to order a salad? Okay, have you been there? If you've been there, give me some hand emojis in the comments. You know, sometimes I get sick and tired of having salads all the time, even though I love them. So what I really enjoy about the Keto Radar app is you can pull up your local restaurant wherever you're eating, and it will give you some keto-friendly options. And sometimes there's some really cool stuff in there that you would normally never think of that you can get a lot of value out of, and you can have some fun and stay keto. So I'm all about fun and keto because I think this needs to be a lifestyle, and if you don't keep it fun and fresh, you won't stick with it for the rest of your life. So yeah, I'm seeing some hand emojis. Me too, you know, so keep it fun and fresh so you can utilize a tool like that, the Keto Radar, to help you stay on track and have some fun. So by the way, I did an excellent macro video. So for those of you that want to know more about macros, once this video is complete here, I will link the macro video so that way you can go to it and get a more in-depth look about macros and how the app works and everything like that. So but as a general rule, getting back to portions, generally a portion is the size of your fist. So hopefully you're not like gigundo over, I don't know, 7 foot tall, because then you'd have to make a concession. But if you have a standard size hand, typically they say a fist is a typical portion size, or about the size of a deck of cards. So you know, eat portions that are in, you know, that range. That helps me to kind of stay on track and not overindulge. I'm a recovering binge eater, so do I have any recovering binge eaters out there? You can go ahead and comment binge in the comments or give me your favorite carb emojis. So for me, keeping control over that overindulging is helpful to me to make sure, hey, let me just take a glance at my plate and see how much food I'm actually putting on my plate, so that way I can stay on track. Now, you can have 2 portions. You know, like, especially most of the time, most of my carbs are being saved for my dinner. So if I'm gonna make, let's say, a beef regatta casserole, which is one of my favorite keto dinners, I can actually have 2 portions that are this size, okay? So don't think just because you're watching your portions that it means that you have to go hungry and you can't have more. You can have 2 servings, but just make sure you incorporate it into your macros as part of your day. And your first month is gonna be messy. If you're brand new keto, comment new keto in the comments just so I know who my new people are. But you're gonna go way over, okay? You're gonna have some really bad days. You're gonna have some 40, 60 gram carb days just like I did, and don't let it stop you. I'm so grateful that I stuck with it because, you know, a year later, I've lost like, 60, 70 pounds of fat. I'm half the person that I was, and I'm so grateful for it. And I'm glad that like I pushed through all those days that I messed up where I wanted to quit and I didn't, thank goodness. And the other thing I want to say about making mistakes in the beginning when you're brand new is, I have this issue. If you guys will have to let me know. Hopefully I'm not the only one. So let's say you mess up and you eat like 50 grams of carbs. You know your typical goal is what, 20 to 25 grams, right? So my temptation was, well, I already screwed up the day. Might as well eat all of the food, eat all of the things that I want. And I don't know why I do this. Am I the only one? Please share with me in the comments. So I don't know. I feel like I have the tendency to want to give myself permission to just keep eating and do all of the things, okay? So don't do that. Please fight that urge. I almost don't do that ever anymore. I've been strict keto over 30 days now. I feel amazing. I have no desire to cheat. Although I will say, I was doing an extended fast yesterday, and I was out walking the dog, and somebody walked into my apartment building, and I could smell the McDonald's fries, and I was like, whew, like that smells delicious. But I typically don't do things like that anymore. I love the keto lifestyle and I love what it's done for me. But when I was smelling it in my face, I was like, wow, that smells good. I was tempted. So, but don't give yourself permission to go crazy. If you mess up, you mess up. Enjoy the moment. I just got a message from one of my followers, and she said, gosh dang it, I screwed up my keto today and I had pizza and Coke. And I was like, did you enjoy it? And I think she was so shocked. She was like floored. She didn't answer me for 10 minutes. I thought maybe she had a heart attack over there. I was like, what, are you okay? I'm like, listen, if you mess up, at least enjoy the food. At least eat it slowly, savor it, and then stop it and get right back on the horse, okay, and move on. And I agree. Five Guys is better. I also love to do smash burger now. They actually have those here in Texas, and they've got fried Brussels that are crispy and delicious. Like, you don't even miss French fries. It's amazing. So, hi Connie, welcome. So hopefully that helped you guys out when it comes to portion size on keto. You know, sometimes I see some keto graphics and memes about, you know, where people are like piling on all the food because they're keto. And like, just because you're keto doesn't mean you have free reign to eat as much as you want. So how do you eat less and still make your macros? Renee, it's actually not that hard. The better you are at eating your healthy fat goals, the less hungry you will be. So curious, how many of you, especially my keto veterans out there, how many of you are not hungry typically for like 90% of your day? So if you're not hungry, comment not hungry in the comments with us so we can see. I typically do like usually 1 meal a day or 2 meals a day, but I can go 20 hours fasted and not even have to blink an eye. I'm not hungry because I'm doing a good job getting my healthy fats in. And once I discovered this on my keto journey, it was like mind blowing. Did anyone else have that reaction? You can give me some of those mind blow emojis in the comments here. But once I finally figured out that if I did a good job eating enough fat, that I could be free from that constant hunger, I was sold. I was like, this is it. I'm gonna do this. I love not being a prisoner to food anymore. Yeah, so I'm seeing all the not hungry comments. Isn't it so liberating? I mean, I don't know about you guys, but in my old Carbolicious days, food ruled my life. I constantly went from one fix to the next fix to the next fix. And I was a binge eater, and I suffered and I struggled, and I was constantly hungry. So to be able to have freedom over food is everything. And I promise you, you will get there once you start to learn how to up your healthy fats. So for healthy fats, for most of us, that's really where it's at. Now, I will say, because we just got a bunch of new followers on. Welcome, by the way. Don't forget to friend me and follow me and share out the video if you guys are enjoying the information here. But that being said, there are some people that they do better with lower fat and higher protein. So if that's you, feel free to share with us in the comments. I always love to see those people where higher protein works for them. So it will get easier, I promise. You won't be so hungry all the time. So next question I had is Valerie asked me, what do you do when you follow your meal plan, but you test your blood ketones and you're showing low? So I really love this question. I think it's amazing because I think there's so much stigma behind testing your blood for ketones. Now, that being said, before I get too deep into this, I do not test my ketones. I do not test my blood. I have no desire to do that. I do not want to prick my finger. I have been very successful on keto, and I'm really not curious about what my blood ketones are doing. But I totally respect those of you that have that desire to know whether you're in ketosis and to see those numbers light up on the screen. So, but one thing I did learn recently at a keto conference, I got to go to an amazing keto conference and study under some of the best keto doctors out there in the industry right now, which was really cool. And one of the lady doctors was sharing about what her ketone levels looked like as she tested throughout her day and as she was taking tablespoons of coconut oil in. Because coconut oil, in case you didn't know, or high quality MCT oil, it ramps up ketone production. So if you're looking to produce more ketones, you definitely want to be taking some coconut oil and some MCT oil every single day. Thanks for sharing, Carmen. I so appreciate you. But the whole point of me sharing that was she shared with us her ketones testing throughout one full day, from wake up to mid-morning to, I think she tested every hour or every 2 hours. And I was shocked because this woman has been strict keto for years, hasn't cheated in years, loves the keto diet. And I was shocked to see the range in ketone levels in her blood. So I want to share with you that if you're testing, and if you're only testing once a day and you happen to hit an hour where it happens to be low, that doesn't mean that you're not in ketosis. It just means that that hour was low for you. Okay, so if you're doing good and you're strict nutritional keto and you're doing all the right things, you will have ebb and flow in your levels, which I think is so cool. That's not something I was aware of before I got to see this scientist speak. So, she definitely had highs and lows throughout her day, even though she was eating keto and even though she was also supplementing with additional coconut and MCT oil. So I would encourage you, if you're going to test, I really think once a day is not enough. So for those of you out there that test your blood, please share with us in the group here how many times a day you test, because I really think at minimum you need to do morning, afternoon, and night. But if you can do a full range for a few days and kind of start getting a catalog, almost like a diabetic, I think that would be really cool to do, like first AM, mid AM, noon, mid afternoon, evening, and then before bed. So that way you can really see the range of your levels and what they look like. And you're also going to see what your normal is. And you'll only know that if you really just plug in a lot of data and information. So see what a full day of readings looks like for you and see what the ebb and flow of your ketosis looks like. And if you can honestly say, I'm strict keto and I don't cheat, then you know you're in ketosis. It's just you're going to see that range of testing there. So hopefully that helps. Like I said, I don't test, but I really enjoyed what I learned watching that scientist share her catalog of testing for the day, because she definitely had lows. She had hours where she was under one, what do they call it, whatever you say that. I don't know what it is. Somebody type it here for me, millimeter or something like that. But then she had hours where she was in the 2 to 3 range as well, which is nice and high for ketosis. So Cool. So next question I got was Teresa asked me, what's a great keto snack? So please share with me in the comments what some of your favorite keto snacks are. I would love to hear about that. So one second. Connie said, I'm a diabetic too, and keto has been amazing for me. Absolutely. Connie, keto is life-saving for diabetics. Hopefully I can say that legally. But I've just seen so many people get control over their glucose levels and be able to reduce insulin and come off of medication. The keto diet is so life-saving for so many different people, but especially diabetics. So I'm glad that you're doing well. I really want to give you some love and congratulate you. So what are your favorite keto snacks? So I've got some brand new keto people saying, well, what can I snack on? So I've got some of my favorites here. I'll share them with you. Of course, I love to do cheese sticks and pepperoni. I also love to do pizza chips. So if you haven't made a pizza chip yet, you're really missing out. It's easy to do. I like to do it with a muffin tin. Just sprinkle on some shredded, some Parmesan, some shredded cheese, put a piece of pepperoni in the bottom and let it bubble up and get crispy. I like to do some Italian seasoning. And then you can dip them in guacamole and marinara sauce and salsa, all kinds of things. So I see Michelle likes salami and cream cheese. That's a really good one. I love to do keto Sammys. Also, if you have an air fryer, you can do avocado fries, which are really fun, nice and high in fat and a little crunchy. If you can find a good buttermilk ranch that's not full of sugar, you can dip your avocado fries in buttermilk ranch. Of course, guacamole is one of my favorite things. You can also do olives. They're nice and high in fat and low in carbs. And I also love to do celery stuffed with cream cheese. So stuff your celery boats with cream cheese. I like to put some olives on top, a sprinkle of olive oil and vinegar, and it's nice and high in fat. You get that crunchy, you get that smooth, creamy, you get the bite from the vinegar. It's just really, really good. Definitely try the pizza chips, Angie. I've got 2 different recipes for them on my page, actually. Also, fat bombs, of course. So what are your favorite fat bombs? Share with us in the comments. I recently made a chocolate peanut butter cream cheese fat bomb, and they're to die for. So it's like 3-4 ingredients, quick and easy. You just leave them in your freezer, and when you have that hankering for something sweet, you can go in there and grab it. Also, pork rinds. So I am really picky about my pork rinds. I only like them if they have some kind of special seasoning on them. So I love a barbecue pork rind especially. Make sure you're getting a brand that does not have maltodextrin in it, okay? So I don't know if you're strict keto or dirty keto, but maltodextrin is basically sugar, and it's in a lot of barbecue type things. So I would hate to have all of that sugar getting into you when you're trying so hard to be keto. So yes, I'm glad you're enjoying the video, Connie. I appreciate that. If you're local, please reach out to me, let me know. I'm totally cool with that. We can do lunch, we can have fun. I love to connect with other keto people. So what else? Of course, keto cookies. I'm always doing keto cookies on my page, some kind of cookie. I also like to do with pork, speaking of pork rinds, I love to do, if you do ground beef and melt some cream cheese in there and add a can of Rotel, you can make like this fancy dip for pork rinds or any other kind of chip that you like. So you just dip your pork rinds in this cheesy, beefy, spicy type snack, and it's nice and high in fat. You can even have it as a meal, which is really, really good. So yeah, and any of the recipes you guys want, they're right on my page. So if you want to know how to find them pretty easily, under my photo albums, I've got a keto kitchen album. So if you set it to post view, you can scroll through and see my photos of all of the food, and then the link that'll take you over to the recipe. So, and I'm glad you love the peanut butter cookies. I recently made them again, but I added 2 tablespoons of cacao powder, and they're like chocolate peanut butter brownies. They're really, really good. So you could also do beef jerky. It's a great snack, but please be careful with beef jerky. A lot of them are full of sugar, so it's actually really hard to find one that's all natural without the sugar. But if you can find it, you can have it. And if you've got an air fryer, you can make your own, which is really cool too. I actually have that on my list. It's something I've always wanted to try. So we'll do that eventually on my page one night, and we'll try and make our own beef jerky and see what happens. So Cool, I've got one more question for you guys, so thanks for staying tuned and participating. So Lindsay asked me, what's the deal with bacon, okay? The nutrition label says 0 carbs, but it says it has sugar in the ingredients. So I get this question all the time about bacon. It's why I always talk about it on my videos. You guys are probably sick of hearing about bacon, but it's my #1 asked question probably. And honestly, bacon is, I think, the most common way that I think people destroy their keto diet, because I'm shocked when I go to the grocery store and I look at bacon. A lot of the bacons have anywhere from 6 to 12 grams of sugar. So if you're just thinking I'm keto and I can eat all the bacon I want, yes, you can if it's the right bacon. So if you're eating bacon that's chock full of sugar like that and you're wondering why you're not losing weight, one of the first questions I coach people on, I say, what kind of bacon are you eating? Is it the right kind of bacon? Because you can get a lot of additional bad sugars into your diet with the wrong kind of bacon. So it's not so much looking at the carb count. So Lindsay told me it's got 0 carbs. I really don't care about the carbs. What I'm looking for is, does it say it has added sugar? So usually on the back of the nutrition label, hi Grace, I wish I had some bacon, but if you guys watched my Instagram stories today, you knew I cooked all of the rest of my bacon today, so I don't have any more. But on the back of the nutritional label, it'll usually say sugars and then added sugars. So like if it says it has 2 grams of sugar and then 6 grams of added sugar, so that's what you're really looking for, is that added sugar. It means they just basically poured on high fructose corn syrup or brown sugar, or who knows what kind of fake sugar is in there. So thanks for sharing me out, Grace. I so appreciate you. So yeah, look for those added sugars. My biggest way to give you a clue as to how you can find the right bacon is to look for the word that says uncured. So you're looking for uncured bacon. And basically, this just ensures that the bacon is not marinated in sugar, essentially. And it will greatly reduce the danger of you damaging your ketosis by buying the wrong bacon. So it usually costs like $1 more, so it's a little bit more expensive, but it's so worth it. So what are your favorite bacon brands? Share them in the comments with us. I have 2 that I typically shop. I do bargain shopping, so you know I'm looking for I'm looking for the best deal. But I love Applegate's brand. They've got an uncured Sunday bacon, which is very delicious, and it's minimal, 0 sugar. There's also Hormel has a pretty nice one. They've got an uncured bacon that's got 0 sugar. So one thing I will say about bacon is, even those 2 favorite brands that I just shared with you, it'll say 0 sugar on the nutrition label, but you'll notice in the ingredients, sugar is still listed. So it's in there somehow, some way, but it's not enough to register on the nutritional label. So I just want you to know, like, that's a thing and it happens and it's kind of normal, but I usually go by what's on the nutrition label. So if it's saying that it's got 0 sugar, 0 added sugar, I'm not too worried about what I see in the ingredients list in that particular scenario. So yeah, I love that Connie loves the Hormel uncured as well. And Sho said she loves the uncured one as well too, absolutely. And thanks for the love, Lori. I so appreciate you. So yeah, if you guys got a lot of value and you learned lots of things, don't forget to friend me and follow me. Share the video out. I so appreciate your love and support. And if you'd like to be a part of my secret recipe group, go ahead and comment group in the comments and I'll make sure I get you an invite. And make sure you swing back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be doing some keto cooking together. I don't know what I'm making yet, but it will be delicious and it will be fun. And I'm really excited to do some cooking with you guys tomorrow. So thanks, you guys. Have a great night, and I'll be back to chat with you again soon. Take care.